Welcome back to the Simple 1500 series. Wait, what? We're at the Simple 1500 series again? That's not right. I've done 10 videos on the entirety of the Simple 1500 series, right? All 104 games. 104 volumes. Well, guess what? There's more. Maybe not the same series, but still has 1500 in the title. This is the Simple 1500 Jitsuyou Series, which is, from my understanding, means practical. So these are practical games. And, yeah, that becomes apparent the more that I played these games that,
these aren't really games. These are something a little bit different.
But we'll get into that as we get through the video. So we've got 18 games to cover in a single video, and you may be thinking, whoa, 18 games? No, don't worry. There ain't going to be much time spent on each game, because there isn't much to each game, if I be completely honest. But either way, I hope you enjoy, and let's move on and get on with the video. And here's the first game, Volume 1, developed by Jorudan, known as the Simple 1500 Jitsuyou Series Volume 1, Norake Anai 2000 Edition. Yeah, I know, you're looking at it, right? You're like, what the hell is this, right? All in Japanese. I was the same, until I realized, right, that this is basically like a Japanese train transit map. And I think it's telling you how much it would cost to go from point A to point B. I think that's what this game is. So it tells you, okay, if you want to go from Tokyo to Osaka via train, it'll tell you what stops you need to get off at and blah, blah, blah. Basically, and how much it would cost to actually get there. So this game is basically a complete guide that helps the user to select the proper train line to arrive at any place in Japan in the shortest time, featuring all the Japanese lines and train stations for the year 2000. And yeah, I guess it would be really helpful to people who are planning travels around the country, and I guess maybe for rural areas, because it probably has a bunch of rural areas. So that's pretty cool, but at the same time, a bit strange, isn't it, to have a game version of that when something like a book maybe would do better? I don't know. I guess this is more user-friendly. And back then, in the year 2000, I guess, you know, we only had we had the internet, but you know, I guess it wasn't that great in Japan. Next up is Volume 2, Keite no Fusue, developed by Game Stage. Now, I got it completely wrong, right? I thought this was some kind of, like, I don't know, fortune-telling game, like based on the Zodiac or something, where you put your birthday in and blah, blah, blah. No, turns out it's Feng Shui. Turns out it's goddamn Feng Shui. This is a game, right? This is a game that is a Feng Shui simulator. You know, you were talking about Strand simulating games. Oh, you know, you go Strand type games. This is a Feng Shui type game. So, Keite no Fusue is a strange simulation game that requires the player to rearrange the furniture in their house to achieve the best possible karma. I wondered what this stupid fucking shit was when I was looking at it, and it turns out it's you rearranging the fucking furniture in your house. So I'm gonna put the bathroom over here, the toilet there, the frying pan over there, and I can't even believe it. A Feng Shui simulator. You wouldn't even be able to write this, right? You wouldn't even be able to write it. God damn it. Okay, on to the next game. Next up is Volume 3, which is Sinmay Honda, also developed by Game Stage. Now, you may be thinking, I'm not really going into detail of what I thought about these games. What can you honestly think? These games are not in they're in Japanese, they're not in English, and you're trying to figure out what the game's like. It's not really a game, it's more of like an interactive book, so to say. Or if even like a stupid flash game that you'd find on some random game website online. Now, this game, for example, I thought was like a compatibility test game, right? With all these graphs and that. No, turns out it's something a little bit different. This one is a fortune-telling game. It's basically a game that lets you know the possible fortune, whether it be good or bad, of a friend, of a job friend, family members, by having you enter their name and providing other information that the game may possibly ask about. And you could also, but it also does have a compatibility thing which tells you how compatible you are with the hobbies and love with that person and stuff like that. So it is a compatibility game as well. It's strange. It's very strange. But like I said, I can't really say much in terms of the game itself, as it's more like an interactive book or something like that. It's more of us just interesting just to talk about these games. First of all, let's get an intro from this gentleman right here before we go to Volume 4. Yes, they did have an intro with that gentleman right there. Volume 4, also known as Ryuri, right? Ryuri. Yeah, kind of straight off the bat when I was playing this, I thought, it's got to be some kind of cooking game, right? Where it tells you recipes of how to make stuff. So if you got like, if you got this ingredient and that ingredient, you can make this and that. And it even has like little instructional videos as well of how to do certain things, which is pretty cool. But yeah, basically, the game, I think what it is from just looking at here, the game lets the user learn to cook, basically, showing 30 recipes and featuring Dr. Hattori, which is the gentleman you saw at the beginning, as the supervisor, and popular Japanese cooking TV show SMAP X SMAP. Whoa, okay, so Dr. Hattori here telling you how to cook. And if you don't know how to cook, he's gonna come around and kill you. That's just how it is. Okay, I'm joking, obviously. But yeah, I think this is a cool game. I like this. This is probably the only one so far, practically wise, that I think would work in the West, having a cooking game. Like, obviously you got Cooking Mama, but imagine having a more in-depth one where you can actually learn to cook. Because I kind of feel with Cooking Mama, it doesn't really teach you how to cook. Yeah, I gotta say, I like this game. This game actually teaches you something kind of useful instead of being a goddamn compatibility test. Next up is Volume 5. Kusuri no Jiten Pillbook 2001 Edition. Also developed by Jorudan. A lot of these games are Jorudan, by the way. And, I think High Corporation's involved as well. Yeah, High Corporation. I haven't really got much to say about this game. Why haven't I got much to say about this game? Basically, this game is it's basically a medicine book. Basically, the game is a complete database for the information of more than 10,000 different medical medicines that were available in 2001. And it will also let you know which side effects that some medicine may possibly, or pills that it'll possibly give you. And that's basically what it is. So you could say it's a medicine book. So it's, it's just, all the stuff that you could just basically find out online nowadays. Obviously, I imagine you couldn't do back in 2001, and thus that's why this game exists. But yeah, that's what it is. Next up is Volume 6, developed by Astral. Cocktail No Recipe. It's a cocktail recipe game. It's a cocktail simulation game. What can I say, right? Basically, it's a game that teaches you how to make cocktails. That's basically what it is. It shows you all the ingredients, shows you over 400 cocktail recipes. It's crazy. It even has a story mode, believe it or not. So yeah, so basically, in this game, the player can visit cocktail bars and learn more about different cocktails. And it will teach you, like, loads of different, it has a complete database of cocktail glasses, tools, words, materials, decorations, cocktail basics, and obviously the recipes. It's just crazy. So yeah, it's a cocktail recipe game. That's that's what it is. Next up, we have Volume 7, which is the Tanoshiku Manabu Unten Myankyo, developed by Viet-Un Systems. We're familiar with that developer, aren't we? In case you're wondering, right? If you're like, what is this? What is this game? It's a driving test game. Yes, believe it or not, Japan, they did a driving test game. I was like on the DS, there was that driving test game, right? Japan did it first. Oh, maybe they didn't. I don't know. But yeah, basically, yeah, it's a driving test game. So the game has two different parts. The first part is like a quiz, where obviously it's like the theory of a driving test, and then the other part is this, what you're seeing now, which is allows you to drive in different parts of the city, where you like do button prompts to show what you're making note of or something as you're going down the old highway. I think it's meant to be teaching you like what you could come across when you're going down or the road and whatnot. An interesting concept for a game. Very interesting. At least it's a bit more interactive than probably the some other driving test video games. You know, all those 100 odd driving test video games. I gotta admit though, this Jitsuyou series is really going into the obscure with so these. I guess they are supposed to be practical games, but damn, really. So far, this is the one I actually enjoyed. I actually enjoyed this one because it actually feels like it had a lot more interactivity in comparison to the other games. Next up is Volume 8, which is Wan Jikan di Wakaru Kabushiki Toshi. And it's a fucking stock market video game. I'm not even fucking joking. So this time, right, the game will let the user learn about trading in business. The game will let the user know how to check stocks, calculate trades, and it also features a beginner's guide for such things. It also even has a quiz mode to even get you even more familiar. Yes, it's a fucking game that teaches you about the stock market. And yes, I am so fucking surprised. What the fuck, really? Okay. When I first saw this game, I kind of lost my shit a little bit. Do you know why? Because Volume 9 is Watashi style No Aromatherapy. It's a fucking aromatherapy video game. It's a fucking MLM video game. It's a multi-level marketing fucking video game. Oh my god. If anti-vaxxers could have a video game, here you go. Here you go. Get those essential oils. I'm not even joking, right? This game features a complete glossary of aromatherapy. That's what this game literally is. That's all it is. It would show you like different things about volatile plant materials, essential oils, you know, fucking stupid fucking shit that helps you a person's mind, mood, cognitive function, or health. All the stuff that doesn't exactly work, you know, or the stuff that's like it's fabricated, you know. That's what this game is. I'm not even joking. Look at it. That picture of a guy smelling something. That's he's sniffing bath salts right there. That's 100% true. That's aromatherapy for you. Yeah. I'm sorry. I saw this game and I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay. That's all this game is, right? All it is just a guide to essential oils. Yeah, that exists. All right, on to the next game. Next up to the table is Volume 10, Tarot Uranai, developed by Vint et Un Systems. Why does it always sound like I'm going to throw up every time I try and say their name? It's a tarot game. Yeah, it's a tarot card game. Basically, it's a tarot card simulation game. I'm not even joking, right? It's a game which allows the person playing to learn about tarot and features a complete database about it, and you can also do your own tarot for today, which you know about love, work, home, friendship, health, you know, and stuff like that. You know, I did this one for example, and the first one I picked was the worldo. You know, I got the sun. I think I got the devil as well. So that's always nice. But yeah, it's a tarot card video game. It's a like I said, all these practical Simple 1500 games are all trying to teach you something new, aren't they? So this one's teaching you about tarot. There's the Fool. That applies very well to me as well. And that's the tarot. That's Tarot Uranai for you. There you go. There it is. On to the next one. Next up is Volume 11, Kate di Dekoru Subo Shiatsu, which is a game that teaches you about massaging. I love the WikiHow images in here, by the way. Look at that. That's definitely a WikiHow image right there. You know, smile for me. Okay. So apparently Shiatsu is a Japanese term for finger pressure, or Japanese for finger pressure, and it is a type of alternate medicine consisting of finger and palm pressure stretches and other massage techniques. So it's again another one that's similar to the MLM kind of thing, where it's massaging and you know how they always say, well, you do yoga, it's good for you and whatnot. It probably is, just like this, massaging probably is good for you, but there's no scientific backing to say that it is actually good for you. It's something along those lines. So yeah, it's yeah, a game about massaging. Next up, we have Volume 12, Kate no Ikagu Shidan Jiten. Yeah, this one's a bit more about traditional medicine, and it's basically a game where it allows the user to ask a virtual doctor different questions and learn about diseases and prevention methods. The game, surprisingly, is a complete medical encyclopedia. Now, that's impressive. That's really impressive. I'm not going to talk about this image, right? We're not going to talk about this image. No. Okay. So yeah, so that's the game. That's like I said. That's literally the game. I guess good for a medical student, right? I haven't really got much else to say. A lot, it's getting to that point now where he's just like, well, that's the game. That's the game. All right, let's move on to the next one. Next, we have Volume 13. Shinri game Soreke X Kokoroji. Something like that. And once again, it's a compatibility game. How many compatibility games are they going to honestly have in this fucking collection? Seriously. Honestly, this game got released before simply as Soreke X Kokoroji, and then got re-released as a simple 1500 Jitsuyou Series game. And it's another compatibility test. So yeah, again, let the user know the compatibility, good or bad, that with a friend, job mates, family members, by answering questions that the game will ask him about. You don't let the kind of visual novel looking style of the game fool you. That's the game. It's another compatibility test. Alright, let's move on. Next up we have Volume 14, Kurashi no Manners. Kankon Su Sai Hen, something like that. So yeah, this is a game that teaches you Japanese etiquette. Yep, Japanese etiquette, right? That's literally it. The game shows you how to do the proper etiquette manners for special events like weddings or funerals. It also has a quiz mode to let the players know if they've actually learned the lessons well. And surprisingly, in this quiz game, I got quite a lot of questions right in a row. Even though I don't speak Japanese, it's like, boom, five fucking questions right in a row. How does that happen? I think on the 6th one I got it incorrect, if I remember correctly. Yep, got it incorrect. So yeah, it's a game about, like I said, it's a game that teaches you Japanese etiquette. That's the whole entire point of the game. Next up we have Volume 15, Inu no Chi Kata Sekai no Inu Catalog. It's a game that teaches you how to look after a dog, and so on and so forth. Basically, yeah. So the actual thing of this game, right? It lets the user learn about different dog breeds, and it has a lot of information about dogs and whatnot, with a complete database featuring movies and photographs of the different breeds. And apparently also features a quiz mode, as you can see right there. But my eyes, from what I can see, it's a game that basically lets you go through, see what kind of dogs you're into, what dogs you like, and maybe pick a dog to go and find and adopt and, and become a pet owner. I think something along those lines. That's kind of cool. I like that. It's kind of cool. You know, it's always good to be more informed about looking after pets, because it's a big responsibility looking after a pet. I should know. But yeah, it's good that it informs people. I like that. It's a good game. Good game. Good interesting game. Next up is Volume 15, Neko no Chi Kata Sekai no Neko Catalog. It's the same as the previous game, but with cats. It's a game that teaches you all about cats, different cat breeds and everything. Has videos and whatnot like the other game. The best thing about this is look at this woman picking up a cat. She does not know how to pick up a fucking cat. What the fuck are you doing? Deary me. Alright, and it also features like a quiz mode, obviously. Like I said, it's pretty much identical to Volume 14. Right? Or volume, was it 15? Whatever. Volume 15, right? It's exactly identical to Volume 15, right? Just with cats. So that's pretty cool. That's fine. That's fine. You know, I still can't get over that lady picking up the cat. I remember seeing that when I originally recorded the footage. I was like, what the hell are you doing? That is not how you pick up a cat. Okay, on to the next game. Next up is Volume 17, The Planetarium, and just as the name dictates, it teaches you about planets. One thing I'd like to make note of, it has an option which allows you to look at previous simple 1500 Jitsuyou games. I find that interesting. This is an interesting option you can see on the game. But yeah, the game is basically this. You have a voiced guide telling you about planets, stars, and all that kind of jazz, you know? So, information about the universe, constellations, and of course it has a quiz mode. Why wouldn't it have a quiz mode? So that's that. Let's move on to the final game now, Volume 18. Finally, we have Volume 18, Kanji Quiz, Kanji Ketai ni Challenge. It's a kanji quiz. It's basically a game that allows the user to try more than 20,000 questions that will challenge his kanji skills. Apparently also, you can try and learn the Chinese language as well. The Chinese, maybe Mandarin kanji, whatever. Yeah, basically, it's a kanji quiz game. It lets you learn about kanji. And testing your kanji skills, I guess, as well. Yeah, what a game to end this on. What a bang! It ends with a bang, you know. So yeah, all right. So that's the kanji quiz. Let's get into the outro for this. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. That's the Simple 1500 Jitsuyou series. I know, it's not that interesting, at least to me. Maybe as a video game, it's not that interesting. But in a practical sense, it's really interesting. You know, to think that you have a game series like this, which focuses more on teaching you things than it does about the actual game itself. I just think, nowadays you couldn't get away with this because you'd have to make an interesting game crossed with learning, for example. That's just my 2 cents. There ain't no like old school PC learning, like, remember the living books? You have living books? I need to do a video on those games. Those are fucking great. But anyway, the Simple 1500 Jitsuyou series, it was okay, but it wasn't anything special. Thanks for watching the video. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.